Hello everyone. Today we are going to explore CREO Parametric 5.0. I am Vikram and I will be taking you through the various details available in this particular software. So once you open CREO 5.0, you will find this particular window will pop up as a part of basic interface to access this particular software. In the top side or the toolbar, you will see the various options given for exploring this particular software. So you will see the open option, which can also be accessed through Ctrl+O key. So once you open, it will ask about the location from where we need to open the file. So currently the location which is set up here is this particular location, and currently we don't have any file here. So that's why we are not able to open any CREO file here. Now another thing which we need to remember is, while opening the file, we need to choose an appropriate file format here. So let's assume if I choose all file options, then ideally it should list down all type of files which are supposed to be available in this particular folder. And if you are initially or upfront aware about the file, the type of file, let's say .prt, which is the part file designation for the CREO 5.0. Similarly, if it is assembly, then it would be .asm file. Likewise, there are different file formats available and which are associated with the different kind of modeling, the different kind of sketching, and so on. So this is how we can open the new file in the CREO. So this is just for example. However, going forward, we will discuss and explore this option in detail. Coming to the second option, the select working directory. So in this particular option, you can select a directory from your system wherever you wanted to work in a CREO. So let's say I wanted to work in a CREO, so that I can create a new folder in the same directory, and I can make a or select that particular directory for future work. And after selecting the directory, we need to just say OK and we are done. So this is about the working directory in which we can do the further work. The another option we have is erase not displayed. So this particular erase not displayed usually help us to remove all the objects which are not available in this particular window or in this session. And currently if I click here, you see there are no part files or no objects are available, hence we can't see anything. However, let's assume we were working on couple of components before, then we would have found out that it would provide the big list of the working files which we can remove and start working on the new file. So the another option is model display. In the model display, we can set up a various options like working environment, let's say. So in the working environment, if you see there is a working directory. Then in working directory, there are different options, show user help prompts on pointer, sound bell for prompts and messages. So let's say if there are certain messages here, so all the objects in session are currently being displayed, no object will be erased. So likewise, messages or the commands or the directions would be provided, and there would be a sound bell associated with those messages and commands. Then save display with model. So likewise, there will be multiple options. Similarly, there will be a model checking settings. So you can define a model checking settings here, okay, which we will discuss in detail, which is the specific, let's say, async dash port. So this is a communication port between the model check and Pro engineer. Okay, we will discuss on this in detail as and when this particular options to be used in the assignment. So I will, as of now, I will close this. Again, I will go to the model display. Then the more important options which are to be used in the CREO are sketching, then model display during the modeling, sketching, model display, and the assembly. Okay, so these are the more often used options in the CREO. So in the model display, again there is a model orientation. So what kind of default model orientation you want, whether it is isometric, trimetric, or user defined. So currently we have chosen trimetric as a default orientation. Once you prepare a model and put into the default orientation, there are multiple settings associated with the model display and while reorienting the model. So currently we have checked the orientation center, it will show. So when you rotate the model, we will be able to see the orientation center during the spinning, spinning of the model. Then the datums, then fast hidden lines removal, show surface mesh, show seal houghty edges, use time to draw frames, animations, and so on. So we will explore these options during working on one of the either sketching assignment or modeling or assembly assignment. Then there are again some of the default display settings which are provided by the software, and we can make use of these settings as and when required during the modeling. Then there is a sketcher. So in the sketcher you can see again there are the display settings. Then there are various sketching options and assumptions provided in the model. So we have checked, or the software has by default given all these options, which are like, you can see, lining up horizontally, then vertically. Okay, what it means is when you try to draw a line, either horizontal or vertical line, it will by default consider it to be a perfect horizontal or perfect vertical lines. Similarly, other options like parallel lines, perpendicular lines, the lines of having equal length, the corners of having equal radii, then collinearity of the two lines, the symmetricity about the axis, midpoints, and the tangent. So the circle is tangent to the line. Okay. So these are some of the sketcher constraints or assumptions which are considered by the software as a default options. Okay, and remaining things more of like a default options given by the software. Now coming to the assembly, then in the assembly, as you know, we need to have the two or more components which needs to be assembled together in the CREO. So for that, let's say you started with the basic first component, then you need to have an external component with the certain reference associated with that external component, so that you can bring that external component for assembly with your existing component. So for that you have a option called as the external component permitted for reference creation. So you can see all the components which you are inputting from the external directories, chosen as a by default option. Then likewise there are by default options given like placement reference to backup. So you can place a reference and which will be considered as a backup. So all these options, we will consider, we will use it during the assembly process. And the option which is widely used or which is of more important, that I will highlight or connect back with this particular settings. So we will choose by default as of now. Okay, and then we will start exploring the other tabs available. So I will say yes as of now. Okay. So this is about the model display. Then system appearances, again we'll go to the selection, model display. In model display we already seen different options. Then in sketcher, okay, I think we have already explored this. We can just come out of this particular option. Now on the left hand side you will see the folder browser, okay, and another thing, there is a folder tree. So currently we are into the my document folder, right, where we have set up the directory. So you can just minimize this. In the folder browser you can go to the desktop, okay, you can go to the any other location in session, let's say, and you can explore the files of your importance or which you have already created earlier. Another important option is model tree. Now this model tree is grayed out currently because we haven't built anything. We are just starting from the scratch, right? And then there is a favorite. So in the favorites, this particular option will be used when you create certain files, certain sketches or certain assemblies as a favorite, which you would be using more frequently from favorite list, and that is how it is treated as a favorite. So this is the home portion of the software. Then let's go to the file and understand what all things are given here. So we have a new tab here which is basically calling out new layout, the sketch, the part, assembly, manufacturing, drawing, format, notebook. So these are the different types of the options available in CREO, and which you can learn and work around it in a upcoming sessions. And the subtype is whether it is a solid modeling, whether it is a sheet metal modeling, whether it is a bulk modeling. And this is a by default file name would be given by the CREO, PRT0001. Here we can enter the name of our file which we are going to model as a part, okay, and we can store at a desired location. Now in this there is a checkpoint called a use default template. So let's uncheck it, okay, and create a new part file, okay. Then it will ask for a templates, okay. Now there are multiple templates in the CREO which are associated with different unit system. Now let's say if I go to the inch, pound, part, solid, okay. So this is one kind of solid modeling template which is available in the part modeling type, and the unit of that template would be in inch, pound system, okay. So when you uncheck that particular box, you will be directed to assess the template of your choice or of your interest in the given modeling setup. Now in the template you can have a template stored in one location. All the templates which are being used in your organization or in your academic system, those templates can be accessed by this particular option. So currently we haven't stored any template here in the directory, that's why it is not highlighting any details. So let me choose any default template here. So let me go to the Newton second, okay, and then it will open a new file or the window, okay, which is being used to create a new part whose name we have given as PRT0001.prt, right, and which is part of a solid modeling now. So this is what window would be highlighted once you open the tab in the software. So we were in the file and we had just opened the new modeling or creating new model here. So this was the basic start of the modeling process, and once you open, this is what you will find. Let me again go back to the original file now. So I will just close it for time being. Okay. So we were in the file. So this is what new file creation we have seen. In the subsequent session, we will explore more on this particular model creation. Then second one is open, which we already discussed. You can open a new file from a given location, from a identified location. Then manage file. So in the manage file, you can rename the current object and the sub object. So you have a rename option over here. We can delete the old versions. Okay. So in the CREO, one of the important point you have to remember is, even if you are working on the same file, it will keep on creating the latest versions of a given object or of a given part, and it will assign the highest version number to that particular object or that particular file. And because of that, the size of the file will keep on increasing. Let's say if you are working on one particular model, which is of like a very long duration and very complicated model, it will have number of files created and associated with the version number every time you save that particular file, and that is the reason the file size becomes bigger and bigger. Now with the help of this particular option, you can delete all the older versions which you are not going to use in the future, and that way you can manage the file size. And if you wanted to delete all the versions, you can use this particular option. Now there is an instance accelerator option. So this particular option is being used to purge or update the instance or update the part file. What it will do is, it will always try to use the latest file which is being created in the folder and purge all the older files, and that way you will always ensure that we are working on the latest file. Okay, so this is what purge instance accelerator would be used. Then there is a manage session. So as we have seen, here is not displayed. So this is the option which will basically remove all the objects which are not which are either in the session or which were part of the earlier session. So I will just cancel it because we have part 001 already open. So we'll go to the manage session. Then there are other options. So working directory, object list. Okay. So in the object list, we have a part 0001. There is no assembly, no drawing, no notebook, no section. So we have only part here. So likewise, the details of the session also can be listed here. Then in the help menu, we can go to the specific of parametric help, CREO parametric help. Then if you want to search any specific command or the utility, that also can be searched over here. Then if there is any specific query associated with the CREO, that can be filed using this particular option. And likewise, there are some resources available, online resources for which are the quick references for assessing the various details related to CREO, and some of the online references for installation, administration and configuration of the CREO. Then we'll go to the options. I think these options we have already explored. which we talked in this particular session. Okay, so this is all about the basic window which will pop up once you open the software CREO 5.0, Parametric 5.0. Thank you very much.